Okay, so are you ready to like dive deep into all the crazy laws about relationships that you never even think about
Yeah.
until it's too late? You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
And you're sitting there in court like, oh my God, did I really just send that text message? We are going to break down some of the biggest legal surprises hidden in romantic relationships today.
Uh-huh.
And we're taking inspiration from a video called The Legal Strategist, aimed at college kids,
Okay.
which is really interesting because we're going to be talking about stuff that's kind of adult.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, it's like college is where a lot of people are starting to have relationships.
That's when it all begins.
Exactly. So it's perfect for this because it's like you might not even realize how serious of some of
Mhm.
these laws are. So we are going to equip you with the knowledge to hopefully stay safe and avoid any legal drama in your love life.
This is good.
So to kick things off, let's talk about something that I always kind of knew was a bad idea, just morally.
Right.
But it turns out it's actually illegal in most states. It's
Yeah.
revenge porn,
Ooh.
which is basically like when you share explicit pictures or videos
Yeah.
of an ex without their consent,
Right.
like you're trying to get back at them or something.
Mm-hmm.
So get this.
Okay.
In 48 states, this is a felony.
Wow.
That means jail time and fines people. It's serious stuff.
You're kidding?
I know. It's crazy, right? Like we think about like, oh, I'm posting this on the internet,
It doesn't really matter.
it's digital, whatever. But the law is catching up and making it clear that this is a huge violation of privacy.
It's a digital footprint that can last forever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So just a reminder out there.
Yeah.
Think before you post anything online,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it involves someone else's intimate images,
Right.
because the consequences could be really serious.
Absolutely.
Now, get this one? You ready for this?
Ready?
You can actually get sued for causing someone emotional distress after a breakup. I know it sounds wild, right?
Yeah.
But it's true. Even something as simple as sending a really nasty text message could potentially land you in legal trouble.
So you're telling me I can't send that angry paragraph?
I mean, you can, but you have to be careful.
Wow.
Because if someone can prove that your words caused them serious emotional harm,
Yeah.
you could be held liable.
So, like, what counts as emotional distress, like, legally speaking?
That's a good question. And it's a bit of a gray area, right?
Yeah.
Like the law doesn't have like a specific checklist.
Mm-hmm.
It really depends on the specific circumstances of the case.
Oh, okay.
But generally speaking, it needs to be more than just feeling sad or upset.
Gotcha.
Like there needs to be evidence of real harm. Like maybe you needed therapy or you couldn't function in your daily life because of what happened.
Wow. So there are actual legal limits to how messy you can be
You got it.
in a breakup.
Exactly. Like, don't get me wrong. I fully believe that words can hurt.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to think about where the line is legally.
Yeah.
Okay, are you ready for the next one? Because this one is going to blow your mind.
Oh my gosh, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Hit me.
Okay, so in North Carolina, you can actually sue someone for breaking up a couple.
Wait, what?
I know it sounds crazy, but it's true.
Okay, how does that even work?
So it's called alienation of affection.
Alienation of affection.
And it's this really old law that basically says if you can prove that someone interfered with your marriage and caused it to end, you can sue that person for damages.
So, like, if your friend encourages your husband to leave you,
Yeah.
you could sue the friend.
Exactly. It's like a legal version of blaming the other woman or the other man.
Wow, that's kind of intense.
I know, right?
Like, is that even still a thing?
It is in North Carolina.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people think it's outdated,
Yeah.
And it definitely has some controversial roots. Like back in the day, women were considered property. So this law was meant to protect men's like ownership over their wives.
Wow. So it's like a relic from a different time.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's still on the books in North Carolina, and people have actually won lawsuits using it.
That's wild.
I know it makes you think twice about getting involved in other people's relationships.
It really does.
Right, right. Okay, now let's talk about something a little bit more practical, something that I think a lot of people can relate to.
Okay.
Co-signing loans.
Oh.
I know it's tempting to want to help out a partner,
Yeah.
especially when you're like super in love and you want to build a future together.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you from experience, co-signing can be a huge mistake.
Okay, why is that?
Because when you co-sign, you're basically saying to the lender, hey, I'm equally responsible for this debt.
Mm-hmm.
So if your partner stops making payments, guess who's on the hook?
You are.
You got it. And it doesn't matter if you're not together anymore.
Oh, wow.
Doesn't matter if they're off with someone new. You're still legally obligated to pay.
So you're like financially tied to them.
Exactly. It's like a financial ball and chain that can drag you down long after the relationship is over.
So what's the takeaway here? Like, what should people do?
Just be really, really careful about co-signing anything.
Mm.
Like, really think it through. Consider the worst-case scenario. And if you're not completely comfortable with the risks, don't do it.
Okay. That's good advice.
All right, last but not least, let's talk about the internet.
Okay.
Because we all know that social media can be a breeding ground for drama,
It really can.
especially after a breakup.
Mhm.
You know, when emotions are running high and you just want to vent to the world.
Right, right.
But be warned, bad-mouthing your ex online can actually get you sued. Yes, for real. It's called defamation.
Defamation.
And it basically means that if you post false or harmful information about someone that damages their reputation,
Mm-hmm.
they can take legal action against you.
Wow. So like even if it's true, if it's really damaging.
It can still be a problem.
Wow.
So yeah, it's really important to be mindful of what you post online, especially when it comes to exes.
Definitely.
Because once it's out there, and the consequences can be pretty serious.
Makes you think twice.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So we've covered a lot of ground today, from revenge porn to emotional distress to alienation of affection to co-signing and defamation.
It's a lot.
It is.
Hmm.
And it's just a small glimpse into the complex world of relationship law.
Yeah.
But hopefully this deep dive has given you some food for thought
Mm-hmm.
and maybe even inspired you to be a little more cautious
Right.
in your own love life.
Absolutely.
So out of all the legal pitfalls we talked about today, what surprised you the most?
It's really amazing to think about all of these laws we've talked about and how they could impact how we act in relationships.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to be careful out there.
Yeah.
It makes you think twice.
Absolutely.
Now that we know all this stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like maybe we'll be a little bit more cautious before we hit send on that text message or, you know,
Yeah.
sign on the dotted line or post that angry rant.
Right. Or get involved in someone else's marriage in North Carolina.
Exactly. Understanding the legal side of things can really help you avoid some major drama.
Definitely. It's like they say, forewarned is forearmed.
Right.
That.
So stay safe out there, everyone. And remember, love is grand, but the law is not always so forgiving.
Words to live by.
Exactly.
All right.
See you next time.
Bye.